Roguelikes and roguelites have become a rather saturated genre of video games over the past decade. The dense competition has forced the genre to evolve and innovate what roguelikes could be. Gameplay and story are difficult to manage in roguelikes. The ever-present randomization element is what makes this a problem. Dead Cells, one of my favorite games of 2018, managed to solve the gameplay problem. But what about story? Enter Hades from Supergiant Games, a game that I believe has found a way to incorporate story in a roguelike in ways that no other game has, and something that I hope to see more roguelikes imitate moving forward. So what exactly does Hades do that makes it stand above the rest? The story of Hades puts us in the shoes of Prince Zagreus, son to Lord Hades himself, as he realizes just how fed up he is with his father and the underworld itself. The other gods on Olympus, some of which didn't even know Hades had a son, choose to aid him in his quest to escape the underworld. His motivations begin to change at a certain point. The twist, however, is that each time Zagreus dies, he returns to the underworld to start over again.
How am I going to beat him?
Therein lies the unique aspect of Hades compared to other roguelikes. Hades' story unfolds not only through the progress Zagreus makes during his escape, but each time he dies as well. Hades' story is also complemented by wonderfully written characters, each with their own intricate stories to tell.
Pal, thanks again for that nectar bottle from before. Stuff just goes right through me like you won't believe. Though I hope you're not going around giving that stuff away to every bozo you know.
They also comment on Zagreus' progress and losses during his escape. You're always guaranteed to hear something new from the same characters, whether you're making progress or not. Hades is fast-paced and action-oriented. As you progress through dungeons of the underworld during your escape, you discover new abilities and power-ups the gods of Olympus aid you with. You'll be dashing, slashing, shooting, and punching your way through room after room. And while it may not flow as smoothly as something like Dead Cells, the sense of accomplishment you get overcoming tough challenges remains the same. Every door to a new room has a marker above it indicating what reward you can expect to get from clearing it. For example, the lightning bolt means a reward from Zeus, or a green bow and arrow indicates that Artemis has something for you. Each reward gives you a choice of different types of power-ups you want to use. One could power up your weapon, another may upgrade your dash ability, or perhaps you want a room-clearing special attack. Power-ups also have a rarity which determines how often it appears each run. At a certain point, the game opens the option to offer gifts to NPCs in exchange for something in return. This results in new items and developing a special relationship with certain characters. The gods themselves are not exempt from this. One of the issues with roguelikes that tend to scare people away is the feeling that they aren't improving or making progress. Hades combats this problem by allowing the player to gather currencies that carry over after each run. I never felt like I was stuck in a rut because I knew I was still seeing improvements somewhere over time. Plus, I was excited to see what everyone had to say about my recent progress. This is one of the many ways Hades stands apart from other roguelikes. At this point, you know how important video game music is to me, and that I'd find it rather difficult to put a game on my list if the music wasn't up to a certain standard. It's safe to say that Hades meets these standards without question. Composer Darren Korb knocks it out of the park once again by mixing hard rock with Greek folk music that smoothly transitions from one another. One moment you're hanging out at the palace chatting with NPCs underpinned by sounds of theremins, the next moment you're battling waves of enemies to adrenaline-pumping guitar riffs, desperately waiting for the moment when you can stop and take a breath after the room is all clear. Or perhaps you find a special room where you're met with the soothing voice of Ashley Barrett singing the tragic song of Eurydice.
Aw, for me, really, Your Majesty? This will be perfect for my latest recipes.
Suffice it to say, Hades isn't short of a variety of fitting tunes that stick with you long after you stopped playing. Hades is one of those experiences that may not appeal to everyone based on its genre alone, but I feel confident in saying that everyone will find something to love, whether it be the fast and rewarding gameplay loop, the beautiful visuals and music, or the rich story and whimsical characters. Hades ties all of them together cohesively. While it does fall short on asking more than most players are willing to commit for the real ending, it succeeds in making sure that there's always something new to see. And as many of you know, replayability is one of the most important metrics in video games for me, and is also what helps escalate Hades to the front of the pack of my favorite games of 2020.